Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com, a quick video review of Own the Room. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. National Geographic is set to release a brand new feature-length documentary on Friday the 12th of March called Own the Room, and it's all about 5 entrepreneurs from different backgrounds all coming together for a competition in Macau in China where they're trying to win a competition prize of over $100,000. So this took place back in 2019 and National Geographic filmed it all. It's done by the same creators as Science Fair, which you'll find on Disney Plus now, which won lots of awards. Now this documentary is pretty interesting in the fact of the 5 people that they were looking at. They're all from different backgrounds and they've all kind of got different businesses that they've created, and they're trying to get themselves out of where they are, generally in poverty, and they're trying to kind of get this company forward. And if they can win this competition, it could mean some big moves forward in their life. But not only that, even if they just get to the event as well and get further along, they might find investors to invest in their company. The 5 entrepreneurs include Santosh, who is from a small farming town in Nepal, and he just wants to make people happy and kind of has an entertainment business trying to keep people happy with so many people leaving Nepal. Oleandra works at her family's bakery in Puerto Rico where she's creating an app that helps the hard of hearing communicate with doctors. Henry is a programming whiz from Nairobi that has built an app to help university students get housing. Jason is a marketing machine from Greece who has an app that can translate babies' cries so we know what's going on with them. Daniela is an immigrant that is escaping the crisis in Venezuela and is working in a laboratory in New York City and is trying to reduce the amount of testing that's required through AI. If you enjoyed the documentary from National Geographic Science Fair, you're probably going to enjoy this one here, or if you've got a flair for business and you kind of like following what people do. Now the 5 people involved in this are very, very talented. They're very driven, and all 5 of them, in all honesty, I think deserve to win. I'm glad a few of them did, but I'm not going to tell you which ones. I mean, you can Google it, but you just have to wait until Friday. But for me, this documentary kind of missed something. There was something missing from it, and I think some of it was down to personality. The 5 people that they featured maybe weren't the most charismatic people. The documentary is kind of broken down into kind of 2 parts. The first third is all about an introduction into the 5 people, and overall I kind of enjoyed that. I liked seeing how they got there and who they are, what they're doing, and why they're going to this big event. However, from there, once it gets to the event, it just slows right down, and they're kind of building on the anticipation of going through the different rounds and people getting eliminated, and are they going to get through, and they're practicing their speeches and they kind of making friends with one another, and then they kind of go through each stage until we get to the finale. And then at the end we kind of find out what's happened since. And for me, it just felt so slow from once we got to Macau to when they kind of announced the winner. It just took too long, and I kind of lost a little bit of interest. It was all just dragging on too long. I feel like I could have watched it and just kind of skipped half an hour and I probably would have been fine. And it's only about 90 minutes long anyway. So I really felt the middle really dragged when we're just kind of getting through it. I mean, if you've ever been to an awards presentation, you know how long and drawn out they are. And this kind of didn't, I don't think they could have made it a little bit smaller. I thought it was a good, solid documentary, very well done. And as I said, the people that were involved were interesting, but they weren't charismatic enough to pull it off. Everything's kind of from afar watching what they're doing, and that was my one issue with it. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5 because it just was very average. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. It's just, I just felt it could have done with a lot more effort just to kind of spice it up. It just was a little bit flat. I think compared to Science Fair, which the kids were a little bit more kind of excited. These guys just, they're much older and they didn't have that. They're very serious. They know what they're doing, and it's about business and there's some big money on the thing. So they're all quite reserved, and they're all very driven, and that's great. And I can't put that past them. But the actual documentary itself just was a little bit flat. Could have done with either a lot more of a montage to kind of get them through that end bit, or just trim some of it, because I just really felt it just didn't need as long as it did. But as I said, it'll be coming on Friday. If you enjoyed Science Fair, check it out. If you're after something a little bit different than the kind of the usual fare that we've been seeing on Disney Plus lately, go check it out. But let me know if you're going to be checking this documentary out. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.